Minecraft Dungeons. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Fight your way through an all-new action-adventure game inspired by classic dungeon crawlers and set in the Minecraft universe. Up to 4 friends can play together, or you can brave the dungeons alone. Anyway, before we go into the actual settings, I want to assure you that this is not a children's game. So let's have a look at the settings, guys. Yeah, there they are. That's it. Anyway, Minecraft Dungeons is an ARPG, and well, I use that term in its loosest possible sense, to be fair, guys. It's trying to be a bit like Diablo, but it's just way short. It's kind of like the most dumbed down version of Diablo you could ever get, but at the same time you will die quite a bit. Not so much because the game is very hard, but because the game's just not very good. Things don't make sense to me. Don't make sense. Let's dig deeper, guys. I was gifted this by Microsoft. It's the Hero Edition, the £25 one, but it is actually, I think it's £14 this or whatever for the standard version. And obviously I got the key after the game was released, so that there would be no chance that I could possibly put anyone off from buying this. I completed the game in about 4 hours, just pretty much casually taking me time. I've also played through on the plus mode, which is basically the next level of difficulty that it unlocks. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm kind of well on my way through with that. But I won't be finishing it because I've had enough of the game now after about 7 hours. It's just not for me. I find it absolutely boring. It might suit some younger kids who are into Minecraft and they want a little taste of dungeon crawling, but I can't really recommend this to adults, and I'm going to tell you why. The attacks are just a joke. You spam the left mouse button or spam the right mouse button. Left mouse button's your melee, right mouse button's your ranged, and that's pretty much the combat. You do get 3 artifact slots, which make it a little bit more interesting, that you can equip these artifacts that you drop or purchase. And these can be literally anything. Explosions, heals, totems, even pets that come out and help you. So there's a lot of stuff to get in this game, a lot of stuff to equip in the artifact section as well as in the weapons section. And everything has a value, the usual RPG values with colours, you know, greens, blues, epics, legendary, and things like that. Now you can also enchant your armour, your bow, and your melee weapon. So you get these, every time you level up you get enchant points, and you can put them enchant points into your weapons and armour, as I said, but depending on the rarity of the armour, how valuable it is, will depend on what you can enchant it with. Obviously, the rarer the armour or weapon, the better the enchants that you can put in, and you can stack them up there as well. Now, the game only has 9 maps, which is a bit of a shame, and then when you finish the game and beat the guy at the end, you can then start it again on the next tier of difficulty, which is a way harder. It's way harder. It's brutally hard, guys, than if you're not prepared, and I wasn't really prepared. I had to go back and farm a little bit to get better gear. The higher difficulty level you set it at the beginning of each kind of map that you go into, the better loot you'll get should you complete it. If you fail halfway through the map, if you only get a finite number of lives, I think you get 3 lives. If you lose all them before you finish the final boss of that level, you still get everything that you've won in that dungeon, so it isn't a complete loss. Now, let's get to the problems with this game, and there are a lot. I do apologise, I've got a little bit of a sore throat, guys. Bear with me. The first thing is, it's riddled with bugs. I actually was able to exploit at least 3 or 4 of the bosses simply because they were getting stuck on the scenery. I would spawn in it after dying in a place where the boss couldn't get me, and I could just spam it. It was just crazy. The amount of bugs that I found in this game was just really worrying, considering this isn't an early access game. This is supposed to be finished. The second thing is, you've got roll, which you know what roll is? It's in loads of games. I particularly don't like roll. Rolling around the floor like a prick is not something that I like to do in a game. But hey, it's there, and you do need it to get out of problems. Because roll is all about repositioning. That's all it is. I don't like it when you can spam roll like in Witcher 3. But in certain games where you can just use it now and then liberally, then fine. It's okay if you need to quickly switch position because you're going to get mobbed. And the problem with roll in this is you literally can't roll through an enemy, which means you will die a lot simply because some levels there are a ton of enemies and they will just swarm you. There's no way out, you're dead. The only way you can survive that kind of thing is if you have certain artifacts equipped, like the explosion, which will enable you to blow the shit out of them all to get them out of the way. And another thing, you have this healing ability. It's like a potion that you drink. And it will heal you. It's on a huge cooldown. And obviously you are not going to go into a big battle if that is on cooldown. So you spend a lot of time just standing there. Just, yeah, I'll wait 1.5 minutes or whatever the hell it is until that bloody well cools down. And it's just, I mean, I get it that if it was on a 30-second cooldown or something, it would just be a little bit up. But we have no other means at the beginning of the game to heal ourselves. I mean, later on I did get a totem that I could put down, and I also got a necklace that I could wear that I could use to heal myself. But certainly on my first playthrough, I found it very frustrating at times, just simply waiting around doing nothing in the game. Also as well, I played single player offline, and I couldn't pause the game. Now I get this is Minecraft, it's not meant to be Diablo, it's not meant to be played by, I guess, seasoned dungeon crawling people. It just isn't. It's probably more for children or more for people who aren't used to ARPGs in a dungeon crawler setting. So at £14, yeah, it's probably worth it if you fit into that category, but if you are just in any other category, I ain't gonna recommend this. I'm sorry, it's just buggy. It's boring. Me fingers fucking knacking for spamming the bloody left mouse button all the time. The combat is so freaking boring and repetitive. And it's just not. I thought it would have been a hell of a lot better than this. I'm quite disappointed. I thought there would have been a bit more to it, but it's just kind of the basic dungeon crawler. And it is only difficult because of the bad design of some of the elements in the game. So there you go, guys. £14, 9 levels. The only repeat is harder difficulty and better loot. But it's so boring, the gameplay. Why would you even want to?